Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, or in this particular case, Homeschooling University. I promised I was going to try and make something to try and help out with homeschooling for any of us alumni who have children. We want to try and make this a little bit more than just a really extended vacation. There's a good chance this should go on until the end of the school year and then possibly, a little bit more. But with it being the end of the school year, what, we're all going to get stuck going to summer school? Not if I can help it. At the very least, we want to make this something where they're going to get, your kids going to get a little bit more exercise than just in their thumbs playing video games, right? So we're going to go over a couple little things that we can do to try and help out in this particular time of crisis, and then a whole bunch of even better resources to get there. So let's just get talking about some of the basics, starting from preschool and work our way up. By the way, this is my this is my background for when I'm actually doing online education, teaching English for overseas kids. Anyway, so let's get started. In general, for me, the absolute best tool that you can have, books, notebooks, just anything like that. The old composition books, all that good stuff there. These guys, the absolute hands down best. Anything that you want to get done can be done in here, including for your kids. Grab yourself a couple of these, go to a dollar store. Dude, I'm a huge advocate of dollar stores. All right. Go to your local dollar store, grab a whole bunch of individual little books. You don't need too many, one per kid could technically be enough. Have them a writing journal where they can just sit down and do some writing if they're actually able to write. If not, something where they can just draw. All right. Maybe you got some printing paper that you can use, construction paper, anything along those lines. Let your kids be able to pick up and hold a pen or some kind of a device in order to be able to draw with their actual hands instead of fingers alone. Let them actually draw, let them actually express. You know what I'm saying? Make it private, make it just for them, all that good stuff. After that, consider getting, well, here, let's see, depends on how young your kids are. Grab all sorts of devices. I literally just grabbed this. Again, dollar store. Feathers, stupid feathers, pipe cleaners, any little thing like the popsicle sticks. They got colored popsicle sticks, which are really cool. Let your kids go wild with them. Sit down and actually do some crafts with them. You know what I'm saying? Get some paste, all that good stuff, and just get down on the floor or whatever and hang out with them and just do that. Kitchen floor oftentimes works best because really easy to clean a kitchen floor. I'm saying. So, hey, worst case scenario, you can always split these things in half and get yourself some fletching skills and do some hunting. I'm joking, partially. I'm joking. Anyway, there are a whole bunch of resources out there that you can actually find online that are a little bit more expensive. You can get like a 4-pack of these with different shapes and whatnot. It's literally for little kids, just kinesthetic, something to actually get their hands so they can actually balance and get things inside. More than that, they actually have to judge the different sizes because like this will fit in there, but it'll be way too loose. You know what I'm saying? So there's the correct snug size for each one of them. Obviously, this one won't fit in here because the holes are way too small, but just little things like this. Hey, make sure that you keep them in one place, and then when the kids aren't using them, put them up. I think like the 4-pack of these with all different shapes and sizes. I think this actually came to like 40 or 60 bucks. They were fairly expensive. Don't clown around with these. But there are also cheaper methods of doing things. Basically, there's like dominoes for kids. Hey, maybe your kid is old enough to actually use regular old dominoes, which you can buy at a dollar store, or you can buy these. You know what I'm saying? Same kind of situation. What is this? Montoy. You can go ahead and check these things out. It's basically just dominoes for kids. You match up. It's plain. It's obvious. Match up the two lions. Now you can either match up a monkey or what the heck is that? An elephant or an elephant. All right. Just match up a bunch of different elephant faces. You can use regular dominoes if you want. Just the idea of doing that. The idea of counting is fantastic, not just regular numbers or the words for the numbers. Multiple different ways, express different ways. Hey, if you're a gamer, you've already got plenty of dice. If not, go to a dollar store, get one of those $1, or if you're in Canada, it's $4. Depends on which dollar store you go to. The big gigantic pack of dice. All right, like you're rolling for a fireball damage. Again, Dungeons and Dragons gamer ideas, but just throw some dice on the ground. and have your kids try and, see who can actually do it first. If it's too challenging, if your kids are too separated apart, as far as education levels, you do it with your kids. See who can answer first, you or your kid. Let your kid win. I mean, what kind of a monster are you, right? Moving on. A whole bunch of cool things you do. Oh, geez. Here's one of the absolute all-time best. Again, dollar store. Memory games. Silly little memory games. Like this one, obviously, comic book university. I've got comic book stuff, but yeah, match the Spider-Man, match the Novas, and see the ones that don't actually miss. This one's got 54 cards, and I mean, it's like the coolest. I already pulled some out for you. It's the coolest little things. These little things, you find bigger ones, whatever, and you match up all the different. Like, look, those two obviously don't match. You know what I'm saying? But find the ones that will actually match, and then they're cool. They're fun. Good ways to just keep your kids engaged and they're learning without actually realizing they're learning. The absolute best way to do your teaching. So, and there are multiple ways to pull that off. What do you call it? Here, let's do this. Dollar stores also, they will always have puzzles. All right, I was in Walmart the other day, and there's this woman who was just on the phone looking for puzzles. Like, oh, there's this, they're expensive, and blah 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 blah. And like, they don't need this and they don't need that. I'm like, yeah, yeah. I'm like, ma'am, if I can, you try a dollar store. She's like, are they open? I'm like, some of them are considered essentials. So yes, there's actually a dollar store down the street. Blah blah blah. It's open. I just passed it. Lights are on. People inside. She's like, oh, and they've got puzzles. They got puzzles. Okay, cool. Walk that toy aisle. Walk that toy aisle. And if you're looking for rewards for your kids, walk the party aisle. Those little gift things like the kazoos. Don't get the kazoos. Those things are really freaking loud and annoying. But they have all sorts of other, non-kazoo toys that kids will love, like the rings or stamps, depending on how much you want to clean your house. You get what I'm saying, though, right? Lots and lots of stuff there. Here we go. For the slightly older kids, like first grade and higher, consider getting these. Obviously, I'm in Canada, so I've got the Canadian style money, but you can find, again, I got this in a dollar store. All right. So they've got the Canadian money, both the coinage and the actual dollar things. You know what I'm saying? So, and this looks just like a cash register. So you can actually have your kids buy some of their own toys. You know what I'm saying? Put some price tags on them and have them buy toys and make it as complicated or as simple as you need it to be. For, third graders and whatnot, you could do, like, instead of just doing $2, $3, you can do $2.99. You could do $2.50, $2.45 for, like, different items. Get a total together. Hey, here's a suggestion. Also consider getting a calculator. You can get those from dollar stores also. So consider grabbing some of those things. Help your kid out to actually find the things that he or she will need and want and use forever. One of the final things, maybe for younger kids, come on, you knew I was going to have a bunch of these, right? The golden classics are amazing. Get a whole bunch. You can get them for boys and girls. You can get them for just in general. I mean, who doesn't love this one? This one's the absolute greatest book in the face of the planet. The monster at the end of this book. If you're not familiar with Grover's The Monster at the End of This Book, where the heck have you been? It's the greatest freaking book ever. Just get a whole bunch of these, and I've got a fat stack of these things. But what I'm saying, consider grabbing some of these. Give them a little wipe down if you don't already have them, but have your kids just sit down and read them. Read them with your kid. The reading enjoyment is out of this world. Listen, one of the most important things when it comes to reading, first time you read a page, it's going to be really, really difficult for your kid. The second time your kid reads the page, now they're going by memory. Now when they're going by memory, they're actually getting sight words down. This is crucial. This is crucial. This is one of those things where they can look at a word and say, oh, I know this word from memory. It's such and such, without actually sounding out each and every letter. The first time, it's sounding out each letter. All right. Have them read a page over and over again, 2 times minimum, if they're not familiar with reading yet, if they're not great at reading. Some kids, listen, if your kid hasn't been doing any homeschooling for this entire lockdown period, this quarantine period, this is not always like riding a bike. You can actually lose languages. I have lost languages You know what I'm saying? I used to know how to read certain other languages here and there, and not anymore. Not anymore. So don't play around with that. Actually, make sure you give your kid time to read. And patience is so crucial because we are in a quarantine. The self isolation stinks, but make sure you have patience with your kids. They're going to make mistakes. And this is a great time to build trust with your kids that they can make mistakes and you won't get frustrated. You won't get angry. All right. So keep that in mind. Moving on. Hey, man, bananagrams, some of the absolute best way to get your kids actually spelling words, putting things together. Older kids, they're probably still going to want to play bananagrams. If not, get Scrabble. All right. Listen, we're going analog old school here. Get yourself a game of Scrabble and a standard dictionary. All right. And what a great way to like refer back and forth. Oh, I'm going to challenge that word. You open up the dictionary. Ah, son of a gun, it's in there. All right, fine. You know what I'm saying? Work up your points that way. Um, yeah, online you can actually order versions of Scrabble in other languages. There's actually Scrabble in Arabic, so I'm positive. Actually, and I know for a fact there's Scrabble in French also. You can grab a whole bunch and just have some fun with it. I'm saying, great way to learn a whole bunch of standardized words. What else do we have here? Here's a really great one. You want to talk about little puzzles, numbers and shapes, and put them together? Listen, you might think that the reuse of these things are, like one use only. No, not even remotely. Not even remotely. These things right here, your kids can use them over and over again. You got to remember, they're not going to get bored with these things so quickly, especially once, the first time they do it's going to be really hard. Sit with them, work with them, actually, do these and get a whole bunch of them too. Why? For everything that I just said, and also you might notice dollar store. Dollar store. I know it says 4.99. Canadian dollar stores are a little bit different. Anyway, what you call it? With these things, the first time they do them, they're going to be frustrating for the kid. They're going to be a little bit hard for the kid. Sit down with them and smile. Make it fun with them. Make sure they see that you're smiling. All right. Start doing these with your kid. They're going to get it. Do the first. You remember the basics: crawl, walk, run. You know what I'm saying? Sit down and actually do the first one for your kid. The second time, show your kid how to do it and have them do the last piece. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. The next one, guide your kid to actually do it. After that, see if your kid can actually go up by himself. If not, correct. Correct the mistake as you've seen it. Boom, move on from there until your kid can do it by his or herself. After you're finished, boom, let your kid do it completely alone, unsupervised eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like move physically, move back a little bit, watch your kid do it. After that, you can walk away. Walk away from your kid doing it. Next day, sit down and do a different one with your kid. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wow, this is cool. Don't worry. Won't be overstimulated as long as you're not doing it the same day. Day after that, another one. You get 5 of these things, you get 4 of these things, you're golden. And then just keep on switching up. Keep on switching up. Hey, see if your kid can remember how to do this one that they just did the other day. Boom, simple as that. Consider bicycle cards. All right, there's a pack that I actually didn't open up yet. I think I'm going to try and practice my bullseye and gambit technique and actually flip cards with these things. Anyway, you can play war with your kid and do things like this. This will actually help out with, like the speedy response time. This is for older kids also. War, if you're not familiar with how to play war, you slap down a card and what do you call it? Like you both slap down a card and see which number is higher. You know what I'm saying? Obviously a queen beats a jack jack beats a five beats a one, you know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. Yeah, they're just ones. There is no aces in this particular one. It's a one, all right? But you slap them down really quick. You try and say, mine, 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 yours, mine, mine, like that. And you keep on trying to go to see who's actually going to win which one. You go as fast as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? You also play a cool game of 52 pickup. For all ages also, especially the older ages, but all ages also, you can play Uno. Uno is the greatest game in the history of creation. Fight me. All right. One of the greatest games ever. And you're going to love this. They're going to love this. Kids love this. Adults love this. Old people love this. All right. Just, man, Uno. But you know what? Anybody want to get a game of Uno going? Okay. Listen, for now. Um, Let's get really funky with this, and let's pull over here. I am a former electrical engineer. Boom. You grab some of these for your kids, they will not stop loving it. Maybe you yourself don't actually know electronics very well. Perfectly fine. Listen, these are fairly costly, though. Okay, that's the only drawback to these. They are fairly darn costly. I forget how much this even was, 80 or $100, something like that. I think it was more than 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's Canadian prices. So drop the price by like $20 for America. But whatever. Like this is these are amazing. All right. If you're not familiar with these, understand this is the way that some of the stuff looks on the inside. They'll actually have these cards. Let me actually open this puppy up and show you. So for mine, I've actually got instructions in English and French because I'm in Canada. But they've got this. You open the puppy, I'll show you what the thing looks like inside. They've actually got the breadboard. Oh, it's great when your kids learn what all these things are called. But you got the imitation breadboard here and all the other stuff here that you're going to use. Let's see if I can do this without it all falling over and whatnot. But yeah, all these different things. Yes, you have to put batteries in them. 2 AA is usually more than enough. And then you're golden there. And as far as what's inside, these are very awesome. Let me show you. Crack this puppy open to just any old thing. First off, there's introductions in here to everything, what should be inside and everything. And then you've got projects. Let's see if I can actually open this so that I can see it also. Projects. Project number 17 out of 100. This is obviously the French one. So let's see if I can find the English one. Hey, there you go. I saw projects number 101. Anyway, so okay, here's number 17 in this particular one. What that actually said was alarm circuit. You can actually make a laser gun. You can actually make a laser gun, just does the sounds, but you can make an alarm circuit. Okay, it'll show you how to put these things together, which pieces you put down first, what they all look like, and then it'll also give you, the objective. This is crucial. This is crucial. So you know what's about to be taught here. It will give you the objective, what you will accomplish once you've done this particular title. So alarm circuit, you will accomplish this. Objective to show how an integrated circuit can be used to make real alarm sounds. Okay, and then down here is actually what you're doing. Excuse me, what you're doing, how you're doing. Build the circuit on the left by placing all the parts with a black 1 next to them on the board first. Then assemble all parts marked with a 2. So this way you can't really mess up. When you close the circuit switch, and what does it mean to close a circuit switch? If you're not, into electronics, you don't understand that there's open and closed. Hey, that's binary. At the end of the day, that's what you're basically trying to do, open and close switches. So basically like an on off light switch, or even with your water's either on or it's off. Hey, there's also a dimmer switch where you got, a little bit of pressure or a lot of pressure, right? Kirchhoff's law, it allows you to, sorry, former engineer, but it allows you to associate water and piping with electronics and circuits. You know what I'm saying? Wires. So have some fun with these. Seriously, there's so many different projects you can do in here. You sit down and learn it first, and it's going to take you 15, 20 minutes at best. And even if it takes you longer, I assure you, you're not even going to realize how long it's taking you. You know what I'm saying? I've sat down with people to do this and walked away, and I come back and I was like, no, I'm still learning. I'm good. I'm good. No, this is actually really fun. Oh my God, I'm really getting into this. You can wind up learning a little something, something about electricity yourself. You know what I'm saying? And no, nothing in here is going to shock or hurt your kid. This is supposed to be for age 8 or older. Yeah, my 5-year-old has also played with this. Actually, he's still 4. So my 4-year-old, he's almost 5. My 4-year-old has played with this also, next to me with my supervision, never gotten hurt. You know what I'm saying? There's no 9-volt batteries, so you can't even get that whole, touching your tongue with it. However, that is always fun to do. Before I get into the actual curriculum books themselves, last thing, consider all sorts of cool, fun things. Like, I'm not going to actually play this now because it's still nighttime. My family's asleep. But consider grabbing, what do you call it? This is actually more than just dollar store, but you can get harmonicas at dollar stores. I love harmonicas. Absolutely love harmonicas. This one comes with, like, the cleaning kit and everything like that. But yeah, consider Harmonicas, there's also recorders, they look like flutes. What do you call it? Get some of those, recorders. All of the you can find these things at dollar stores, and they're freaking awesome. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they can get, a little bit loud, especially if you're living in an apartment, they can get really super loud, but sit down and actually get, like, music sheets that you can find online and just do, like, hot cross buns, 3 blind mice, "Hey, 2 songs in 1, I love it," and just do little basic things like that. Music theory, it's also gonna help your kid to understand math and to just understand different ways of thinking of the exact same things, patterns, beats, all that stuff. It'll help with, syllabalization of the English language or whatever language it is that you're teaching, you know what I'm saying? And then you're golden. Finally, one of the best resources that you can have are just these stupid things, okay? This I actually got from Costco. So, Canadian price of 10 bucks, so it'll probably be like 7 or 8 bucks, excuse me, in the US, but you don't have to get, and there's a giant size one. You can see it's all separated. What do you call it? This is the beginner readers, and you can see everything that's on there this way. Um, all these things actually help out. All right. And this is for the pre-K, the other side. This is for pre-K. You know what I'm saying? So fantastic. My kids have already freaking butchered through a good portion of this. But what do you call here's some stuff that hasn't been used yet. Tracing the letter M. You know what I'm saying? Finding the correct ones down here. For instance, I want a capital and a lowercase down here. Circle the mittens that are capital and lowercase. So this one, don't circle that. You know what I'm saying? This one with 2 capitals, don't circle that. This is an N. I don't need that. But things like this and this, those would be circled. And then you got examples over here also of mittens, mice, or mouse, things like that. You're really going to play with the letter M here, and you're gonna really learn these things. And again, all of this is just the little stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find all these pages that haven't been used yet, but tracing the word and then actually freehand doing the word yourself. You do another 2 or 3 times. You might only get twice out of this because kids are going to be writing gigantic because they can't figure that stuff out on their own. What do you call it? But these are really easy. You read it first and then you could read it to them. You'll understand how these things work. Easiest freaking thing in the world. Hey, yeah, sure, for these little things like, nobody cares, but when you start getting into like the 3rd grade stuff, the 5th grade stuff, the 6th grade books, that's when it starts to get a little bit harder. Now, online resources. Let's get into online resources. My favorite one that I have used since 2011 is IXL. You can use any of these that you want. Basically, you can look up your state or your province curriculum. You know what I'm saying? Spell check in the freaking thing if you need to. Or I think did I put it for this title? I can't see my title on here. But anyway, I'll try to remember to put that on the title also. Whatever. Just the idea. It's freaking curriculum. All right. Try and find the curriculum for your state or your province or your whatever it's called wherever you live. You know what I'm saying? And this way it'll help out to keep up with your if you actually like Common Core, you can find Common Core. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I didn't mind Common Core. I don't have any problem with Common Core. It's a different way of thinking, and it's much like learning a new language. It's only going to help you to think in multiple ways. In my opinion, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. um what do you call it? And any curriculum that you want in general, you can find it. You want another states instead, look up, what's the current best, state, state that's highest in education levels. You can find that information also. Go by that one if you want. You know what I'm saying? Bang. And then you're golden. You're absolutely golden. You can actually find these things and then move on from there. Let me just get into IXL. They'll have all grades that you're looking for. They're going to have for math, for English. You're going to go through and you're going to see what exactly it is that you want your kid to learn. They've actually got things in there. They've got the practice stuff that's free. Like for instance, odds and evens. You know what I'm saying? They'll actually have one thing on there: 27 and 38. Which one is odd? You say, oh, well, it's the 27. And then you click on it. Yes, that's correct. Hey, 42 and 15. Which one is odd? Oh, let's try 42. No, that's wrong. And here's why it's wrong. And here's how you make it correct. All right. They'll actually go into it. They'll actually hook you up. Khan Academy is a free one I just now remembered that. Khan Academy is a free one that allows you to work like that also. I mean, in Khan Academy, that thing, that's KHAN, Khan Academy. You could actually, what do you call it? Use that to take like your GREs, I believe. You know what I'm saying? You could take it to do your LSATs if you really want to. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is that you're looking to do, boom, you're golden. Khan Academy is freaking awesome. But if you want one that's going to be specific for, hey, doing such and such, consider IXL. I did that one. I swear by that one. I know it to me. I just know that one better than Khan Academy. But I do know that Khan Academy is awesome also. Find out which one you can actually use that's going to work for you the best. As far as IXL, there's a bunch of the free stuff there. You can also pay for this thing monthly or yearly. Let's see, the yearly prices for math, 99 bucks. Also 99 bucks for English, or 159 for math and English. If you just want math and you want to pay monthly, 12.95. Same price for English, and that's either junior kindergarten all the way up to grade 12. So all of your primary and secondary schools. What do you call it? The post-secondary education, that's a little bit different. Then definitely go to Khan Academy for that if you're out of school, but they usually have the online classes up by now. Some of the regular classes don't. If you want to get math and English, only 20 bucks, 19.95 per month. And my suggestion, probably just go by the month. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to actually do this, probably just consider going by the month, because when push comes to shove, yeah, you're what do you call it? This is probably only going to be for like 2 months maximum. You know what I'm saying? And if you need another month, then you use another month. But you can pay per month for this. Let's say you got 2 kids. Let's just go by the math or the math or the English. $12.95 for one kid, $15.95 for 2 kids. It's only $3 more per kid that you can do afterwards. This way, they all have their own, like you got your own password for logging in and all that good stuff. So this is all of it just going to help out as much as possible. But remember the basics. That's the most important part. Remember the basics. Crawl, walk, run. Don't get frustrated, because you are going to be the model behavior for your kids for what they're going to learn, and more importantly, how they're going to learn. I really genuinely hope that this helped a bunch of people out. If anybody needs more help than this, make sure you put it in the comments below. That's the best way for me to answer questions. If I find enough questions that are similar, I'll make another video for it. I generally will. I don't have a problem with that. Aside from that, I'm out, and you guys take it easy. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.